Welcome to Barnard. Let's take a tour. I'm Sara Losch. I'm going to guide you. So when we tell you how to get to Barnard, we want you to see that you are getting onto Route 208 South and you're passing the entrance for BD, and you will go under an overpass, and then you will pull over and you'll see our welcome sign and you'll pull in. It's kind of a quick turn, and we are also not on GPS. So you want to be sure that you are following our directions and not your GPS. You're going to hit a speed bump, whoop, and then there's a little dip in the road, and then you'll come up our driveway. In the winter, it's kind of slippery. In the spring, it's gorgeous. So you pull up, and we ask you to go slowly because sometimes there are children on here. There are often deer. Oh, another speed bump. And you want to be careful when you're going up there. So as you pull into the parking lot, you will see that there is the temple side of the building on your right. That's where the sanctuary door is, and you're going to pull all the way down. Each of our entryways are one way to keep everybody safe, and then you park your car, and when COVID is over, you'll be able to come into our building. So this is our entryway. There is a ramp if you have a stroller, so you could go around and around and around. Kids always have fun kind of running up and down there. And you enter the main entrance of the building. You'll see when we enter inside, the door was first locked, I had to do it again, that you're going to use a fob. And on the door to your right, under all these little switches, there's that little yellow light, and you touch your fob to that, and you get into the building, and now you are in the atrium. The atrium is a beautiful space. That's the temple office on your right, the preschool office, sorry, on your right. Usually the camera's on and telling you all things that are going on. Be aware that right now we are using the atrium as our staging area for the teachers whose things are every place, but generally this space is for gathering. There's a table where you could do your work. There's a coffee pot, an espresso, and there are couches to your left. We are now walking over to the 2-year-old classroom, the Rising Stars classroom, and you'll see that, as with all of our other classes, this is a lovely big space. It is, again, as the other rooms, not set up right now because our children are not currently in the building. But you could get a sense that, like every classroom, which you'll see because they're all on the tour, each room is divided into centers, and some of them are pretty self-explanatory, manipulatives. Here comes the creative play center. We are very big on non-gendered play, so toys come in all colors for everybody, and everybody plays with all the toys. We are going to go through the bathroom because I love to show our very, very cute little toilets for those who are potty training, and the sinks that are just at their level. And the reason for these things when we built this building was we wanted our children to be really capable of taking care of themselves. That was very important to us. Now we go through, all of the downstairs classes are connected through bathrooms or the hallway, which you'll see. And they also all lead out to our beautiful playground, which you'll see in a few minutes. This is our second pre-K classroom. It has also been our threes class. It's been our baby class, our Little Sprouts. We believe this coming year it's going to be the second space for our pre-K, who we call the Fantastics. So now we're going through the bigger bathroom that is designed for the older children. I'm not going to look at this quite as much. It's not as cute. And now we are in the pre-K classroom, which is run by our assistant director, Nan, who's been with us for a very, very long time. The pre-K classroom is where everything comes together. In the younger classes, we are putting in the wiring, we are making sure the switches are in place, we are making sure everything's grounded, and once we get to the pre-K classroom, this is where the switches start turning on, the light bulbs start turning on, and excuse me, we really start to see the magic happening, the children getting fully ready to go into their either kindergarten or transitional kindergarten next year. You will be seeing our kindergarten which is also a transitional. It's both in a moment when we go upstairs. This room, like the others, is divided into centers. You could see in the block area that there are all kinds of things for the kids to experiment with. There are ramps and balls, and it's very important to us that our children are able to experiment and to develop critical thinking skills. They have writing materials available to them all the time. Here comes our playground. I'm going to open the door in a second, and you'll see the playground. There it is. It's quite beautiful, especially when it's not covered with snow. You'll see a sandbox. We have a gravel pit. We've got really challenging things for the children to do on here. This side of the playground is the structure side, and where you see those shooting stars on the other side is a poured surface where we do water play. Now we're in the hallway. We just came out of the Fantastics room. We had gone through the bathrooms. Now we're going through the hallway. So you could see it's long, it's bright, it's beautiful. There are windows everywhere. This is where the children hang their coats. This is where they have their water play things. That every one of our children keeps mud boots and raincoats and rain gear at the temple because we are outside in all kinds of weather. So we're back in the atrium. If you remember, this is where we came in first. Down that hall is where the offices are. You'll see that in a minute. And we're going to go upstairs, and you're going to see 2 more classrooms and see a little bit more about, again, how we plan our centers. So our children are used to going up and down the stairs and getting where they have to go. So you come out of the stairs, and you are on this beautiful sort of platform. To the left through those doors is where our religious school, Jewish Journey Project is, and this hallway, call it the bridge, takes us to the classrooms. So we are entering what is going to be our kindergarten classroom. Our teacher Sharon, who has been our kindergarten teacher for 17 years and is remarkable, is starting to set this very, very large room up with her centers for her kindergartners who will be coming. Kindergarten often has, I'd say half the children are going to go from our kindergarten to first grade. The others are using it as a transitional kindergarten. There's the playground from the top. You could see the play space over there, right there. That's where we do our water play. And a number of our children use the year to kind of what we call mensch up, and we call it a gift of a year. That for some kids, especially after COVID, having this extra year in a tiny little classroom with a teacher really giving them individualized attention is something that they could need. So please let us know if you're interested. Now we're going down the hallway a little bit, and we're going into our 3s class. This is, we call them the big shots. And again, the room is not set up yet, but you could see kind of how bright and colorful and full of materials that it is. Again, centers, this is usually where we have fish. We don't right now. That's their little kind of living room. And there's a water play area in that little cabinet. Again, it's a very large room. Here's where the sink is, where the children do, they're cleaning up. And now you're going to see a thing that we have in every single classroom. This is called the safe place. The safe place, if you see the little drawings on the wall, is where the children learn how to do self-regulation, how to find their own feelings and develop a toolbox to manage those feelings. It's one of the most important things I think that we do in the preschool. Now you can see again, there's centers, there's blocks, there's Legos, which the children love. There's every kind of toy you can imagine. Again, the way that the day is set up is that children move from center to center. These are our bulletin boards. It's the only one that was still set up after we closed down last year. And I'm showing them because the bulletin board is where you really get to see displays of what it is that your children are doing. This is where we get to share the why of what we do, not only the how of what we do. And this is where we get to keep their records. Now we're upstairs, and we are in the temple side of the building. This is the social hall, which is open to the sanctuary. Normally the doors are closed between them. This is our space. It's the best space. This is our space where you can see our big blue blocks that we have inside and outside. This is where we normally would be eating lunch. This is where we are playing with parachutes and doing, kind of gym type activities where we are riding our bicycles. You're going to see our bicycles in a moment. And this is when we need to be inside the room that we use. We usually eat lunch in here. Next year, they'll be eating lunch in their classrooms. There are bicycles. This is called the large meeting room. This is where the children usually do yoga and have their music classes. Now we're going to come out of the social hall, and I'm going to show you a little bit of Barnard history because I am very proud of our history. Barnard is the oldest congregation in the state of New Jersey. We were founded in the year 1847. These are our bathrooms that are outside. And when we moved to Franklin Lakes after 2 different synagogue buildings in Paterson, we brought things with us. You can see these things have been Barnard since the very, very beginning. You can see how old they are. And as I pan down, you will see, it's one of the things I love to show, that President William McKinley had Passover Seder with us in the year 1900, which is a very big deal because, Jews at that time. This is our lobby. These are some artifacts from the second temple that was in Paterson before we moved to Barnard. This room is called the library. Yes, there are books. It's not quite used as a library. It's really more of a meeting space. And we use this space for the children sometimes as well, if necessary. Big, bright, just really lovely. If you want to know who Nathan Barnard is, this is the man. He and his wife Miriam did not have children of their own. They were philanthropists. He was the first Jewish mayor of a major city in America. And he and Miriam opened Barnard Hospital in Paterson and the Barnard Temple and literally funded the money for us. This is our kitchen where a lot of magic happens. On Fridays we bake challah. You will be very thankful and grateful when that comes home. It's made from dough from Zadie's in Fairlawn. So now we're coming back downstairs. This is our social action kind of wall. This is where we really show this part of our commitment, which is a very strong commitment. It happens to be my passion, is social justice and social action. I think I'm going to pan back here in a minute and you'll see right there. That's a storage closet. Used to be my office. And this hallway was the preschool for the first 15 years. No, more than that. We were in this hallway. These are the children's handprints. Some of these kids are out of college already. And these rooms that I'm showing you now used to be our preschool classrooms. That was our very first one that I just showed you. And each of these now is one of our offices. To the right in a moment, you'll see Rabbi Steiner's office. That's this one right here. And if you kind of have a sense of where you are right now, this is when you walked into the atrium, you would have gone to the right, and that's this hallway. This is the main temple office. If you ever have questions for our office manager, Barbara, that's her office down there. You saw her standing there. And this is the school office, my office, and Jackie. That's Jackie's desk. And when you come in the building, you'll always see Jackie's beautiful smiling face. And she's the one you're going to be turning to for a lot of questions. Here is one of our exits that goes out to our beautiful backyard play space. Right there in front of you is the actual playground and our mud kitchen, which is huge amounts of fun. And this little hill, it's not much of a hill, our children love running up and down this hill and rolling down the hill and sliding down the hill. You take what you can get and they love it. We have a fire pit out here. And this in front of you is our garden. I don't know if you could tell how big it is, but the children are out here all summer and they are picking vegetables and learning where their food comes from. And it was important to us to connect our children not only to nature, but to growth.
That's the tour.
And this is me talking. I don't know how to get that recording in, but basically I am thanking everybody for coming on the tour and letting you know that we are really hoping to come back to normal soon, that we are thrilled to show you our space, and we are glad that you're thinking about coming home to Barnard.
Welcome to Barnard
We are
Temple,
very
and,
happy here, and we
really
hope
glad
that you will want to join us too. So thank you for taking the tour, and we hope to see you all here very
You are
soon.
interested in our school.
Thank you. Okay, let's see if it worked.